Hello and welcome, fellow panel chewers. Welcome to the Page Turning Pick of the Week, the weekly comic book series where we talk about all the books we've read this week, and we end the show with our favorite book. And then after that, we discuss our current group read, which is the Frank Miller run on Daredevil. We chose this because it is the series that is free to read on Libby and Hoopla. So we invite you to read along with us, and it is free to read. We read 2 issues per week, and this week we are reading issues 181 and 182, which I have to say, by far my favorite 2 issues of it's really getting good. With all that said, Jarrod, how's it going?
I'm doing good. I'm reading a lot of good comics here. Yeah, including those Daredevil issues that I read today, actually. So fantastic stuff.
Yeah, it was a while there. I was a little shaky, like, where is this going? But yeah, really good stuff. There's still some really annoying characters, but and there's I've been trying to keep track of a certain character, how many people he's killed, but we'll get to that later.
Nice.
We'll get to that later. But to start the show off, we try to always have a topic, and this week we thought we'd read off our top 5 series of the year. Do you want to kick us off with your top 5? Do you have it in any order, or are you just going?
I do. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I do have an honorable mention too, if you want to do that.
Sure. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, because I have 12 on my list, and I'm trying to on the fly decide on my 5. So.
Yeah. I would just like to, as an honorable mention, I would like to point out the New Gods from DC Comics.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a really well done series. That the only superhero series I have in my radar as far as great series of the year, and so I thought that that one deserved a mention. Just a mention, yeah.
That's fair. Well, I guess my honorable mention, and I'm only placing this in the honorable mention because it is very, very short, which is The War by Garth Ennis and Becky Cloonan. I really loved it, but it's only, I don't know if it really it's more of a one shot in the collected version, but The War is excellent. I just don't know that it, as far as length goes, that it can compete with the other ones. It's very, very tight race, the top 5. So,
yeah. All right. So, this is exciting. This is the end of the year. This is all the stuff we're looking back on and what we've read all year here. But, so my number 5 is the regular ongoing Conan the Barbarian series from Titan Comics. I think Titan's doing just a bang up job with the Conan character and the Conan property in general. And I really love what they're doing with the main series, and so that made my top 5. Spectacular artwork, all written by the same guy, Jim Zub. So he's keeping it on track. There were a few issues in there who they kind of veered into that crossover territory with other Howard characters. But for the most part, the series as a whole has been very solid, and I've enjoyed it a lot.
Yes, very good stuff. My number 5 is Napalm Lullaby. This is the book by, I'm drawing a blank. It'll come to me. I am. So anyway, the Napalm Lullaby is Rick Remender. Sorry, I had a brain fart.
Oh, yeah.
Rick Remender. It is the only reason it's number 5 on my list is because this is the quintessential type of series where you read it and you're really confused and you don't know what the hell's going on, and there's some strange things happening and you're just really lost, and you hang on and you cross your fingers and you hope things will work out. And the end of this series was excellent. I love the end. It tied it all together. A really moving, impactful series that really got to me. So Napalm Lullaby, it's one of those that you just hang on and it'll all make sense at the end.
Nice. Cool. Number 4 I have my list is Lazarus Fallen by Greg Rucker and Michael Lark. And this is this series came back just this year, returned after a hiatus, and it looks like he's planning on. It's kind of the beginning of the end, and Rucker's pulling out all the stops on this story for this series at this point. It's been very exciting, and there's already a lot of payoff for all the previous series of Lazarus that has happened, and I'm enjoying the heck out of it.
Nice. It's nice when you have a creator who's able to come back to a series that they created and be able to wrap things up on their own, the way that they want to do it. So that's great to see. My number 4, or the next one on my list, is Into the Unbeing. This is a horror comic. It's The Descent. If you've seen the Descent movie, it's that movie, but on an acid trip. And it is weird. It's disturbing. It's horror comics done right. It gets in your head. It's really, these really odd things happen, and you just, this descent into madness. And I really loved it. If you love horror comics, check out Into the Unbeing. It's worth your read.
Nice. All right. So number 3 for me is going to be one we're both familiar with. Is The Sacrifices by Rick Remender. And I can't remember the artist's name. Fiumara? Yeah, Max Fiumara.
Yes.
For the most part. There have been a couple of fill-in artists here and there, but for the most part, it was him. And Sacrifices, a fantastic fantasy series. Lots of deep themes, lots of wonderful artwork with Remit is really saying a lot with this series, and I enjoy it. I'm enjoying it the whole way through, and he's taking a lot of chances with this series, and I really appreciate what he's doing.
Oh yeah, it's not the last time it'll be on the list, so it's a spoiler alert. My number 3 is Babs. This is the female Conan the Barbarian, but with the Garth Ennis and Jason Burrows twist. It's funny. It's ridiculous. It pokes fun at fantasy and all the different tropes, and has elves who are assholes, and a talking sword, and a horse who has different motivations. It's just ridiculous. It's funny. It pokes fun at all those things, but in a wink and a nod kind of way, not a mean spirited kind of way. And being one of those people who enjoy fantasy, I thought it was pretty clever. So sometimes you have to laugh at yourself and just enjoy the silliness, and that's Babs. And there is another series on the way, so happy to see that.
All right, and my number 2 is probably what Babs is making fun of. Is the Savage Sword of Conan series, the magazine series, also from Titan Comics. I love those large black and white Savage Sword of Conan issues, and they are with the regular Savage Sword of Conan series. Titan is continuing that grand tradition that was started back in the 70s by Roy Thomas and John Buscema. So they've had a lot of great issues. Most of them are single issue, so you can just read any of them on their own. They've had a lot of great artists go through there, and they seem to know how to pick them. So the last one was with Liam Sharp was incredible. Yeah, so Savage Sword of Conan, the magazine series.
Very nice. So my number 2, or 2, right? Yeah. Number 2 is The Sacrificers by Rick Remender, another Remender book on my list. Taking up 2 of the 5 slots, doing something right. Like you mentioned, it's the character arc is one of my favorite character arcs. The questions it poses over, if there's this oppressive regime or oppressive gods, or oppressive system holding people down, and you want to overturn that. You want to change the world. You want to stop it, and you fight and fight and fight to stop it. What's the cost to you? What's the cost to everyone around you? Everyone living in the system, and what does it mean? What happens next? What happens after the fight? The dust settles and the battle's over. How do you? Who decides what to do next? I love the character arc. I love the chances it takes. It is probably one of my favorite all time comics. It's probably up there, maybe top 10. So the Sacrificers is, I mean, second to none. Well, it's actually second to one, but yeah.
Yeah, I have an odd feeling that our number ones are the same.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
Um, so I guess I'll just go for it, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. We'll tag team this one.
Yeah, yeah. Number one by far is Assorted Crisis Events. A just one of the most original things I've read in a long time, um, and a very deep, complex series that thematically tied together, but individually um, spectacular in each of its issues. Solo issues. But you can read any one of these issues and get something really spectacular out of it. You can read the whole thing together and get a huge boost in the themes behind what they're trying to accomplish with this series. And every single one has just been uh, delved deep into a different aspect of human nature that's
Mhm.
touching, relevant, and fun in some cases with all the time craziness going on,
Mhm.
assorted crisis events basically, and yeah, this book really has it all, and it's like you could take a look at the artwork and say a little. Some of it looks. It's not like that highly detailed artwork that you get in like some of the Conan stuff and in like Fiomara's sacrifices and stuff like that, but it works on every level. It has so many subtle uses of panel arrangement and that just feeds the story that they're telling in each issue, and it's a spectacular book. It's definitely on my top comic of all time, one of them, and it's up there, and it's definitely the best one this year, I think.
Yeah. Well said. I think it works on so many levels. It works creatively. It works thematically. It works. It's a gut punch. Every issue is a gut punch. I think whoever you are, no matter your background or what you've been, you can find some way to relate to the stories and to feel compassion, empathy, and it'll just ruin your day, but in the best way. The layouts, presentation, it all works. It's just, it's a special book. It's just really good. So if you haven't read it, go get it. Go read it.
Yes.
You don't have to read the previous issues. I would recommend reading the first issue just to get an idea of how this world operates, but you can't just really pick up an issue and run with it. But every issue thus far has been really, really good.
Yeah, any issue you find, I have an odd feeling that it's going to suck you into finding to rest anyways, no matter what. So,
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, actually, there's so many. I had a hard time narrowing it down to 5.
yeah.
So it was really, really good. But really good stuff. I mean, I thought, well, I wonder if I'm going to have a hard time coming up with 5. So I went through all my notes through the year. I'm like, well, that was a really good one, and that was really good too, and that was really good. And then before I knew it, I had like 12. But to narrow it down to 5, and it was tough. There's lots of great books being printed, lots of great series out there, and it's not all capes and cowls. There's other stuff, and if you're into that, that's cool. I mean, not no shade, just there's lots of great stuff being. There's something for everyone, and that's what's special about this art form.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I guess we'll jump in to the books for the week. And hope everyone, of course, had a great holiday if you're into that sort of thing. And we wish you a happy new year as well. So for the last pick, the last episode of the year, my first one is Absolute Superman 14. So there's a big battle that was set up, and it kind of ended in an unexpected way. I'm not really sure about the wrap up of it. I'm on the fence, but it does it does focus on Superman and his development and his kind of rounding out the character. So I understand why they did what they did. It makes sense. It just still felt a little off, and it's still my favorite Absolute book. Although Absolute Martian Manhunter is in the running, but the art by Rafa Sandoval is, I mean, I just really it takes me back to like Jim Lee, that sort of art, and it's really really great. The colors are great. The story's been developing great. So, yeah, Absolute Superman, another good issue, and of course I'm sticking with it.
Good to know. Good to
Mhm.
hear. um, my first one this week is Cul-de-sac number 5 by Mike Carey and Jonathan Wayshak. Um, and this continues on the story. I'm not sure how many issues this book is going to run, but it doesn't seem to be letting up anytime soon. Um, as the story just keeps getting crazier and deeper as we go. Um, I don't know, maybe it is only a 6 issue thing. Maybe it could end the next one. We'll see. But anyways, it's been a fun ride, and this artwork is just so unique and different and strange that I'm kind of like with the first few issues. It took me a while to get used to it, and now I'm really digging it. So it's really it's neat. I like it. I'm liking it a lot. This issue also had a short story again by drawn by our friend David Lapham, who we seem to talk about every week.
He is on a roll. He is everywhere.
I know, and this short story in this it was written by somebody else. Written I don't know who it was, but this this particular short story in issue is actually Bad Idea Comics making fun of themselves, and so it was kind of funny. Um, and it was amusing to read, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. Joshua Dysart was the writer, and all around it's a good issue, a good deal because you kind of get 2 comics for one, and I'm enjoying what Bad Idea is putting out these days. It's pretty good stuff.
I mean, Latham has been busy lately. He's
Ah,
been doing a lot. Yeah,
incredibly busy. Yeah.
yeah. Which I'm all for. I love Latham. So. So the next one on my list is Absolute Martian Manhunter number 7. Now, in this issue, I found out that this series was originally planned for 6 issues, and they decided to extend it to 12.
Oh, wow.
So in this issue, it does feel like we are recovering from the events of the last issue, and it doesn't feel off or anything like that, but it does have a different kind of feeling to it. So it does make sense that they had planned to wrap it up in 6. But everyone's dealing with the events, and everyone's. I'm still not really sure on what's happening, but I love the psychedelic noir vibe it has going on. I love the artwork, the panels and the layouts are really great. It's just really creative, especially the colors. And if you buy the paperback or the physical copy, you can hold certain pages up to the light and get certain little treats with it. So I think that's pretty neat. It's very ambitious. I think it's entertaining, and it doesn't bother me too much that I don't know what the hell really is going on. I have an idea, but the point is really there's some really moving parts in it that I really loved. So Absolute Martian Manhunter is doing really well too. The only 2 Absolute books left on my pull list.
Very good. And speaking about not exactly knowing what's going on, I have Good as Dead number 4 here. Um, and also speaking about David Lapham here, written and drawn by him, and also written by his wife Maria. And there's a lot that goes on in this issue, and there's a lot where I'm like, what is going on in this issue? I, I I got lost a couple times. I'll admit it. I'm just like, okay, that's really weird. Like, in the last page, I'm like, what is she looking at? It's very strange. Uh, this series has kind of gone off the rails a little bit as far as giving you these situations that in this town that like the stakes are getting very strange, and they're really amped up to this strange level where I'm not 100% sure what's going on with this issue, but I am enjoying the ride. I
Yeah.
like Lapham's artwork and his and their dialogue is fun, and um, I'm hoping it's gonna make sense a little more in the next issue or two, and that we'll be able to get a good resolution from it all.
Yeah. I wondered if they're taking things in a, cause it felt very like kind of based in reality. It felt, like it's a real story, and I feel like they're kind of veering off into some other things that at least hinting at things or bringing the
Yeah,
possibility up of different things. So it's just, I was a little, is just people being crazy or is this really happening kind of
yeah.
thing.
I don't know if there's some mass hallucination stuff going on, or if there's some of this stuff, this weird stuff, or if he's going into a kind of a supernatural direction of some sort, or a science fictiony direction of some sort. I'm not even sure. Uh,
Yeah.
so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's still fun. I
Yeah.
still enjoy reading it, and I still like looking at it. But I will be admit to being a little bit lost.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just the people in the town are crazy or if there's something in the water or what it is or if it's really happening. But yeah, it's interesting for sure. All right. The next one for me is Detective Comics 1104.
Yeah.
And this to me was the best issue of the arc so far.
Oh, nice.
I really like the art by Mike Mikel Janin. It's beautiful artwork, and I really love the introspective look at Batman and the way that he, getting inside his head and the way that he reasons with things and makes decisions and the different things he planned, the different contingency plans he has. And that's my favorite thing about Batman books. I'm not so much into the team up stuff. I like more of his solo stories. But this story does have some twists and turns, and it does. The tension is ramping up because of the ticking clock that Batman's on and his own circumstances. So, really good issue. It's not the kind of story that's going to stay with you a week from now, but it's entertaining. It's fun. So that's okay sometimes.
Cool. And my next one is The Adventures of Lumen N by James Robinson and Phil Hester. And fun is also an apt title for this book. Um, this was the wrap up of this story arc, and it was just one of those pulpy grand adventures with like steampunk, I guess you call it, with the flying engines and the Nautilus, the Nemo's Nautilus ship, and the main character is a descendant of Captain Nemo, so that's the whole schnick there.
Hmm.
Um, and it's a fun romp. The artwork's okay. I wouldn't say it's the greatest artwork in the world, but it serves its purpose. And the writing is definitely geared towards that pulp fiction feel. And what I like about it is just the history that Robinson's putting into it. He's including these fictional historical characters into a grand makeup of a new story. And he hinted at the villain Fantomas, which is a famous French pulp villain. Um, and he always gives like a little history lesson in the back of the issue, as in the extras section, I guess you would call it. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the pulp feel of this whole adventure that he put together. And I was a little leery after the first issue, but then I came around, and he wrapped it up very well in this issue. I have a feeling there'll probably be another miniseries like next year or something. But a nice wrap up to this fun series.
Nice and short.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next one for me is Ferocious. This is 2 of 5. This is by Mad Cave Studios. So in the first issue, a village is attacked by a creature, some type of creature, and it wipes out the village. And the only survivor is a small boy who is looking for revenge. But instead, he is basically forced into servitude and to be the protege for this creature, this person who is running around just laying waste to different villages and people. We do learn some more about her motivations and why she does what she does, but it's hard to really feel too bad when she's out killing innocent people like just for fun. So you do get a different angle of it, but it's still I don't feel too bad for her. Like, but maybe it'll in time it'll kind of you'll see things differently. So, but yeah, I like the artwork. It's not that compelling of a story, but it's keeping me hanging on. So I will continue to issue 3.
All right. Next up, I have Savage Sword of Conan Reforged, #2. This is the color reprintings of classic 1970s Savage Sword issues. This particular one reprints the story The Devil in Iron by Roy Thomas and John Buscema. And so that happened early in the original Savage Sword of Conan series. And this was John Buscema's artwork is just out of this world. I love his artwork, and he's the premier Conan artist. And I really like most of the story because it has a lot of viewpoints that are not Conan's.
Hmm.
And you get a viewpoint of other people's and how they see him, and I enjoy that aspect of it. And then you do eventually get Conan's viewpoint, but the only thing that this bugs me, this isn't like one of Robert Howard's strongest stories as far as Conan goes. Mainly because Conan's motivations are very suspect in this story, and you'll see what I mean if you read it. But artwork and adaptation are just fantastic. Whether or not you agree with the motivations of Conan in the story itself, um, but still spectacular to look at. So can't go wrong there.
Yeah, it's on my pull list. I must have missed it, so or they just forgot to tell me, which I'm bummed about. Looking forward to reading that one next week. Next one for me is Sleep #7. So I've been talking about this series for a while, since issue 1. When Jonathan, our main character, goes to sleep, he becomes something he can't control, and so basically, when he goes to sleep, he becomes a creature of some kind and just goes out and commits horrible acts. He doesn't know why or how, and the book is in black and white. There are certain things that are in color, in red. Now they've introduced a different color, and we're creating more questions. And I enjoy the book. I enjoy the questions it poses, the different ways that you can piece the puzzle together. and try and figure out why certain things are colored and why certain things aren't are not. So it's all been enjoyable, but it gets to a point with a certain series. I mean, we can look at something like Lost or another series like that, where you pose too many questions without answering major questions, and you just keep creating more and more and more, and you don't get a lot of answers. You just get small answers. At some point, you have to start getting the answers for these mysteries, because you 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 start posing these major questions and you keep us waiting. And if you do that too long, people are going to be unhappy no matter what you do. So at some point, you have to start answering these questions. Even if you pose new questions, you have to wrap some of these up, because it's getting to the point where it's like, okay, I get it. Let's start moving things forward and not more questions. So I'm at that point where it's, okay, let's start, give us something. So I'm still enjoying it. I think it's still a fantastic book. I love the art, but I'm looking for answers hopefully soon.
Yeah, I agree with that. You do need to give answers at some point. Um, so I have liquidated number two for my next issue here, and yeah, I really enjoyed this. This is by Peter Milligan and Piotr Kowalski is the artist, I guess. Um, I like this issue's focus on one guy who's morally gray at best, and he and how and what his viewpoint of this whole time police type situation is. So I found that very interesting. I like the little uh, the little history snippets we get in there with the the sign of the kid with the sign that says Lizzie Borden arrested, and I thought that was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Uh, and and I think there's a tie into the first issue with the woman in blue dress. And I'm trying to figure that out, but I need to go back and read the first one to really figure that out. But this is definitely an interesting series, and
Mhm.
I think Milligan's got something up his sleeve going forward here, and I don't know what that's going to be, and I'm interested to find out. So I really enjoyed reading this one and trying to figure out what he's up to, because he's introduced us to a couple of different characters now, and so now I want to know, how are they going to intersect? Are they going to? What's their deal with this, whoever this time authority is, and
Mhm.
how that's all going to relate. So hopefully we get deeper into this series, and things start to become more and more interesting as it goes.
Mhm. I definitely like the different ways they bribed the agents
Hmm.
or gave them a
Yeah,
vacation. And
yeah,
that was pretty interesting.
yeah. That's cool.
The next one for me was, gotta say, almost my pick of the week. It was close.
Hmm.
Is Royal Tree number 17. Now, I've been talking about this book since the beginning of the podcast. I picked up issue 3 for the first episode to have something to talk about. This book has been going on for a while.
Wow.
So the release schedule has not been great. And I'm not one to get on creators about, not having a long time between issues. There's a lot of work that goes into it. And if the series is good, then I'll wait. But this has been a little bit ridiculous. But it's a so in this issue, I will say that we do get some answers. We do get some. We do have kind of a moment where people start to explain things to us, and we start to piece things together. There's not as much mystery. So I still do get some of the characters confused because they look similar, and this book has been going on for so long that I forget who is who and what their role was. But call me crazy, I still have faith that this book will tie up all the loose ends and will have a satisfying conclusion. And from what I read, right now it's slated for at least 19 issues. So there may only be two more issues in the series, which I'm not sure there's enough runway to finish everything, but it sounds like there's an end in mind. So that encourages me. So I'm holding on. Really good issue. I enjoy the answers, and I'm looking forward to see how what happens next.
Nice, nice. Yeah, and my next one was also almost my pick of the week. Sacrifices number 18. Uh, and this was with a fill-in artist
Hmm.
of Andre Lima Araujo. um, Hope I didn't butcher that too bad, but but he's really good. This fill-in artist is really good. I really like the
Yeah.
I really like the style. I really like he's definitely channeling Fiumara in a lot of
Hmm.
ways, but he also has his own his own means of conveying the story here.
Hmm.
Um, and the this is part three of this story called "It Will Always Be the Same." I love how Remender is subverting the expectation of what will always be the same. I
Yeah.
love how he's subverting the expectations of the expected good outcome of a revolution. That is, I think, fantastic, and just being so well done in this particular storyline.
Yeah.
Um, I'm really enjoying that. And this, like when I read this, I was like, oh, that's going to be my pick of the week. And then I went and read something else. But which it's still, I'm still wondering about my choice, but because this is
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Uh, but I'll try to explain why I picked the one I picked. But yeah, sacrifices. You can. I mean, there's a reason it's on both of our
Yeah.
top five lists of the year, and it is. I like can't wait for the next issue. It's so good.
So good. Yeah. It wasn't my pick, and as I was talking about it last week, I'm like, that should have been my pick.
I
but
know. I'm kind
but
of
it's
on that
tough.
fence.
Yeah, it's tough, but it's really really good. I love the direction it's going, and I think the phrase subverting expectations has become kind of a, oh no, here we go again. But this is done in a clever, intelligent way, not a, I'm going to subvert expectations just to be surprising and shocking. And it's
Yeah,
subversion in a good way. It's subversion in a clever way, in a meaningful way. So in a thoughtful way. It's not just to, find Luke Skywalker on a mountaintop drinking milk from weird creatures kind of way. It's it's a it's done in a it's clever. It's smart. So yeah, it's a good thing. But with all that said, it is time for the pick of the week, the last one of the year 2025. Jared, what's your the last pick of the year?
wow, it is the last one of the year. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Uh, this was no surprise. Conan the Barbarian, number 27. Um, the latest issue in the ill-suited part two of the ill-suited guest storyline. Um, and I just figured out what Jim Zub is doing with this storyline. He's setting us up for when Conan becomes king, and I
Hmm.
find it very fascinating because the all the stories that Robert Howard wrote either already have Conan as a king or has it long before he was a king. And so Howard never actually gave us this. He tells it in kind of flashbacks in some of the other stories, but he never actually gave us the actual story of what happened when Conan became the king.
Hmm.
And what I like what Jim Zub is doing here is he's giving us all the foreground of what happened in Aquilonia prior to set up the just to set up the situation for Conan to be king. And what you don't get explained is that there's a lot of actual unrest and revolution going on in the country. and he's a captain, and he's happens to be in the right place at the right time to capitalize on all this other political machinations going on. And
Hmm.
so he really brings a good real world feel to it, as far as a real historical feel to it, to make it like this. It's never just one guy doing something that makes history. It's always a conglomeration of events. And I like how Zub is bringing that to us and still keeping the awesome action that we expect from Conan, as well. And great artwork by Dagnino, and a great cover with a haunting Conan looking at you there. It's just
Hmm.
so this issue had the whole package, and it had a nice little historical footnote of Aquilonia in the back of the extras in the back, and I it really blew me away when I read it. So I was just like, wow, how can I choose anything over sacrifices this week? But then I read this and I was like, oh wow, what am I gonna do? These problems we have, Steve, they're not easy.
And no, it's tough. It's a tough life. Yeah. It is tough. So yeah, this book narrowly beat out the rest, which is American Keeper #2. Speaking of Lapham on the art, but Dark Horse Studios. Now this one, it's about a town in Wyoming that it's all the seedy underbelly, and I will say it focuses on two neighbors, and now I will say it's a little bit on the nose with some of the commentary in American life and the facade and the fakeness of it all. With I can't think of a better way to say it. Just the ridiculousness of it all. So it is on the nose and it is ridiculous, but it's also not that far off. And it does poke fun at everything. It pokes fun at both political sides, which I appreciate, and it just kind of pokes fun at all the ridiculousness that we all fall into from time to time. There's also some great comedic moments, and the story all fit together well. I like the again just the absurdness of it all, and it's just an enjoyable, fun read with some humor in it. It doesn't seem like it has a message, which I appreciate. It's just poking fun at everybody. It's a equal opportunity, bully in this one. So yeah, it's funny. It's entertaining. The art's great. The dialogue's great. I like the story. It's very honest. So yeah, American Keeper #2. Really enjoying this one, and looking forward to what happens next.
All right.
All right. So with all that said, it is time for our group read of the Frank Miller run on Daredevil. This is of course available on Libby and Hoopla, which is free
I'm broke as shit.
for anybody who has a library card. So if you would like to read along with us, it is free to do. We read 2 issues per week, and this week is 181 and 182, and some really good stuff. I gotta say, I was surprised.
Yeah, fantastic. Actually, number 181 was a double-sized issue.
Oh, okay. I didn't even
And
notice. I was
I
enjoying
didn't
it so
even
much.
notice either. I was just like, it was so good. I just kept flipping the pages,
Yeah.
and what was so cool about it was, the way Miller had it all from Bullseye's point of view. I thought that was just a brilliant way to go into the issue, and I was at first I was like, okay, but then when he kept it and he kept it through the whole issue, I was just like, oh wow, that was brilliant.
Mhm.
That was just brilliant. And um, it was interesting. He meets Frank Castle real quick,
Yeah.
in the prison, and um, and him escaping from prison is kind of old hat by this time.
Mhm.
But I can see that it had to happen for the story to happen. So um, I didn't hold it against him in this case. But what I really liked was, we got to the point which we kind of suspected, but didn't know for sure, where Elektra was supposed to kill Foggy Nelson. She doesn't. She backs down, and that's when the big battle scene between her and Bullseye takes place. And I thought that was just spectacularly drawn, very well orchestrated, and the way it all worked um, was just fantastic.
Mhm.
I loved it from just the whole issue. I loved the way the way that it was shown how Bullseye killed her,
Yeah.
and the way it was dealt with Daredevil letting him go, which contradicts, of course, what happened before, and it contrasts it, um, and just and just how it was all from Bullseye's perspective, and so it wasn't. You don't really know what was going through Matt Murdock's mind and what was going through Elektra's mind and all that stuff, and I just thought it was just so well done, so well done.
Yeah, I complained about this when Daredevil did it when he saved Bullseye from the subway. But if he would have just let the subway take care of Bullseye in this one issue alone, I think his body count was 5 because I think he killed 3 guards. He killed another. I think he killed a taxi driver, and there was another person. I think he killed. I think it was a cop in a helicopter. He killed like 5 innocent people. So that's 5 people who won't be going home to their families tonight. And he killed Elektra in one issue. Now, I know this whole thing about heroes don't kill and all that, but it was a subway. Like it was just, bad place, bad time. So I get the whole argument about heroes don't kill and all that, but Bullseye is just he's just running around killing everybody. He's murdering innocent people. I love the fight between him and Elektra. I love the way that the layout of it. I love the sword going through the back of her shirt, the back of her clothes when he stabs her. I love that she crawls back to Matt. That's the one place she goes and looks for, looking for him. All of it was really, it kind of, it was sad to see
Yeah,
that. It kind of got to me. I didn't expect it to,
yeah,
but the way that it was all presented and the Bullseye stuff it was fun to, like you said, get in his head and really great. I didn't even notice it was double sized. I was enjoying it so much.
yeah, yeah. Me too. Yeah, yeah. And then 182, we get back to normal, comic book storytelling as far as point of view goes. But we get Punisher in the brig, so he gets out, and
Yeah.
and which was kind of comical, and with Turk and the other guy. But
Yeah. What can go wrong?
yeah,
Yeah.
um, the what was his the note? Oh, I thought it was amusing that once again Daredevil's going to the dive bar to beat people up to find
Yeah. I like that.
information. Just like how many times is that going to happen?
When
It's
you need
happened a lot.
information, go to the local bar and beat the shit out of somebody. You'll get what you need.
But what stood out to me in this issue mostly was the level of obsession of Matt Murdock. No matter what it is, I mean, this time it was because he was convinced Elektra could not be dead, and he was obsessed with that idea, and to the point where he actually dug up her grave. And that was like, I was like, okay, that's a creepy level of obsession right there. And I really liked how Miller portrayed that, because the question always comes up: how can these people do this? Put on these suits and go out and do this stuff? It's because they're all nuts.
Yeah.
And so I kind of liked it that we actually got into that a little bit.
Mhm.
Matt Murdock is a little,
Little
he's a
nutty.
little crazy, and he
Yeah.
that obsession really showed through, and I liked how that was portrayed here.
Yeah. It had reminded me a little bit of the Killing Joke, where it takes a look at the psyche of a hero and a villain and the role the the role they both play, and they both create each other. And just during the issue, I was wondering maybe she is alive, maybe she isn't dead. And so he even had me convinced. But yeah, the end where he digs up her grave was
Yeah,
wow.
it was
But
good.
he's just yeah. But I mean, in a world of superheroes, I know these things happening. I guess that is that unreasonable to think that maybe she's still alive? Oh, maybe. I mean, but it
It's
was
funny.
a troubling issue. But
Yeah,
it really did put you in the head of Matt Murdock, and you felt his desperation and his grief in this one.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean that's a good question. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, definitely today, nobody's ever stays dead.
Yeah.
Um, and in the modern comics, Elektra is alive and well and still kicking ass. But I know it did take a while for Marvel to bring her back. It
Mm.
wasn't something they did immediately. I think, if I'm remembering correctly. Um, I think actually, I think it was wasn't there? I think there was a title called Electra Lives, and it was Bill
Mm.
Sienkiewicz who did that really crazy artwork that he does. And and that was a huge event when it happened. But it was later; it wasn't right away.
Mm.
So Marvel, I have a feeling Jim Shooter was the editor in chief of Marvel at the time, and I have a feeling this was one of the things he probably said: if you're going to kill her, she's dead, because he was that kind of an editor. And I'm sure that once he went away, all the floodgates were opened as far as who could come back. But
Yeah.
but um but yeah, this was. But it's a good question because fake deaths were quite common, in comics, and I think Miller was playing with that in this issue, a little bit and saying, "Hey, no, no, look at she's really dead." Uh, so I really appreciate it. I liked both of these issues, which is top notch stuff.
Yeah, it looks like there was a book in 1990 called Electra Lives Again.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's actually Frank Miller and Lynn Varley.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I think there may be another one that was done as well. But yeah, it looks like Miller was at some point involved in it. But
Yeah, that's long after Shooter's term
yeah,
as a
yeah.
editor in chief, though. Yeah.
But yeah, it's yeah, really great. I mean, both issues are really really good. It looks like she was brought back through a ceremony performed by the hand.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Oh,
this
I
is
remember
in
that. I think I've read that.
yeah. This was I find it resurrection of Elektra. Well, this is in December 2015, so it looks like she's died a few times,
Ah,
which isn't. I mean, it's on par, right? So
yeah,
whatever. But yeah, anyway, this was really her death was really impactful. I like
yeah,
the grief and the it wasn't just everyone goes about their business. There was and you felt the impact, which is nice.
yeah, yeah. It was really cool to read these issues. Because we know she came back eventually, but I think it's very telling that we're able to read these issues now and still feel the impact of her death. I think that's how powerful Miller's storytelling was.
Yeah,
Because I think that if knowing that she comes back alive a few times now, um, that could cheapen the story if you read the original death, if it's not done well. But in this case, it's done very well, and yeah, this powerful stuff was good.
yeah, it was really good. I'm looking forward to see what happens next. Um, I what was going to happen. What's going to happen with Bullseye? I don't remember, but
Yeah,
the Punisher stuff is pretty neat too. Even though it's goofy, uh, it's just what I did wouldn't expect. But Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how that interaction goes too.
Yeah. I mean, how he escapes from prison is goofy and all that stuff, but he does make a point that uh, he does not like the fact he had to kill. Basically, he had to kill a kid
Yeah,
because the gangs are getting kids involved in the stuff. So we'll see. That's a real actual issue. So we'll see how Milla tackles that.
I was kind of surprised he ended up being a kid, uh, but it was in a good way. Surprised in a good way that they actually went there. Looking forward to the next two issues though. Really
Yeah.
good. So I think it's a wrap for 2025. Uh, great year of comic books and picks and discussions and
Yeah. Round of
good
applause.
stuff. Yeah, good stuff. Thanks everyone for coming along the ride with us. We appreciate everyone who listens and interacts, and yeah, we appreciate all of you for hanging out with us. But in the meantime, Jared, where can people find you?
You can find me at the Fantasy Thinker YouTube channel. You can find me on the Speculative Speculation podcast, and you can find me on the Film Chewing for the Oscars Project.
Yes, indeed. Yes, we are in the 80s. All the links are, of course, down below in the description. And you can find me on pagechewing.com and check out the articles and the forum if you're into that sort of thing. It's a little small community, but talk movies, music, books, all sorts of stuff. So come by and say hello. Hope everyone has a fantastic new year, and hopefully 2026 is brighter than 2025. And we will talk to everyone very soon.
Bye bye now.